I just told them downstairs, don't ever take a victory for granted, and we earned this one. Bouncing back, from last week's disappointing loss, we're able to come in and, get the win. But the thing that makes me happier than anything is the fact that, we played pretty smart. We didn't have any turnovers. We had one penalty. Special teams wise, other than the first, probably 3 or 4 snaps was pretty solid, and we got better at it. So got a week better, and ready to move on to Big East play after tomorrow. Some questions?
How did you guys practice this week? Was there any hangover for out?
Yeah, there was, which, I don't know how to prevent that. It happens every week in college football. Tuesday wasn't very good, but it got better throughout the week, and much like it was today, we didn't start very good, but got better as we went on.
Obvious question, why was the run game so effective today?
We're just getting better at it. We're targeting better, we're finishing blocks better, and then I think we found a running back, so he was hitting it pretty good, and, even Sean came in and did some things, which, that's been a topic of conversation on competition. And nothing makes players better than competition, and we're not going to just turn it over to Dustin and say you're the guy forever and ever. I mean, we're going to have those other guys that are going to be able to come in and do a lot of things. We'll be able to use a lot of them. And Bowie's going to continue to get healthy and end up getting some snaps as well. So, competition makes players.
Coach, that being said, assess Garrison's, especially first half, just really torn.
Yeah, did good. It's a combination of us calling the right plays in specific times, which is not, just coming from the sidelines or the box. It's the decisions that Gino's making, and had a lot of run-pass options like we've been doing from day one, and he gets better at when to do specific things as he takes more snaps in the offense. And then, O-line just doing a better job of finishing. And they didn't do a very good job in the first 2 series of finishing blocks, but then, after we addressed that on the sidelines, they did a better job of finishing blocks, and then with Dustin, hitting that thing and making people miss in the open field.
Did he surprise you at all with anything, or was he showing this in practice?
He didn't surprise. I mean, if you look at 16 games on his high school film last year, it looked just like that. I mean, he's used to 200-yard games, so, I think he gets better. The more you give it to him, the more he plays, the better he probably gets.
Danny, each running back has a specific set of skills and things that make them unique. What's different about Dustin's game from your other running backs?
He's patient. His vision's probably a little better. Bernard runs hard. Sean runs hard. Dustin sees things probably a little clearer. Tremendous vision and patience, which the patience part of it gets him in trouble at times. But he's a good player. He's a good all-around player.
What did your offense was able to do after coming out and giving up the 10 points early? You guys really locking down the rest of the way.
Yeah, it was all 3 sides of the ball for the first 5 minutes. Offensively we stumbled around, and we got the turnover on the first play of the game, but that there was a crease, and that guy had hit that crease, and I don't know who came in and hit him, but it was one of our safety guys. But other than that, special teams were not very good. Offense was not very good. Defense was not very good. We just didn't start very good. But mid first changed that up.
Coach, 2 picks for Tandy today. What was he able to do well?
Should have been 3. Should have been 3. It was good. It was probably a matter of time with him. I mean, he's done that a lot, and just we haven't been getting it for whatever reason, and he made 2 plays and should have made a 3rd one. Should have had 3 picks in 1 half, but we've been close.
When you talk about the evolution of your offense, is this most satisfied? You've been the most complete game we've seen here.
Yeah, here, without a doubt, yeah. We've, it's just a work in progress. I mean, a lot of people are getting aggravated by me saying that because they want instant results and they want it to look great from game 1. But the reality of the situation is it just takes snaps to be able to be good at it. And defensively, we're no different. With all the new guys that we got, playing, there's nothing like just taking a bunch of snaps and playing football to the point where it gets them a lot better at what they do. So 5 games into it, we're happy with where we're at, and ready to continue to get better.
Does it make sense though, if you pass it as much as you did last week with much success, that the other side sees that, Bowling Green, and then all of a sudden the running game is there too? And I wonder if now the next game you go forward, someone says, holy cow, they can run it, and then who knows what happens.
Yeah, it's big. That's why even when last week it was a challenge to run the ball against LSU, and I thought we did a pretty good job of it. We were targeted right, and we got 4 or 5 yards a carry, and then we kind of got down 2 or 3 touchdowns, and we had to throw it a little bit more, but we were still mixing in the run because you got to get them to play it on us, And even if we're not doing a great job like we did earlier in the year at getting yards, at least we're gonna attempt to do it because we got to get them to play on us.
Was there a time when you felt a little bit like Woody Hayes coaching out there, especially that student body left into the end zone?
You talking about the
Power running game.
power run game
Yeah.
stuff? We've been doing it since day one. I mean, we've been playing a lot of 2-backs and 3-back stuff, we encourage them to come down and to stop the run because that's where a lot of your big plays happen in the pass game when they put everybody up in there and you get one-on-one stuff outside. So, and then it's like anything else, if it works, keep doing it, and if you're getting good yards on it, then keep doing it.
How big is it to get that turnover? You defer for the second half, and then you get the turnover on the kickoff, so you basically got 2 more possessions than they do for the game. How big is that at the start of the game like that?
Yeah, I mean, it is fun to see on the first thing. I mean, after we've been talking all week about not being able to get as many turnovers as we like, and to see it on the first play, which was big. Turnovers are the stat that matters more than anything. I mean, everybody's aware of that. You got to be able to create them. And it's not all about looking to the other team and saying, boy, I hope they make a mistake and throw it right to me, or if they just drop the ball. You got to create turnovers.
Your outside receivers gave you what seemed to be a big game today, nailing a catch for a touchdown, and McCartney a bunch of catches, and Stedman his usual stuff. Was there a reason for that?
Yeah, you run the ball, which means they add people in the box and you get one-on-one stuff outside.
You talked in the past about Gino needing to get on the same page as you. From what you were saying earlier, it kind of sounds like you're pretty pleased with his decision-making today and what he was able to do. This is a big step progression-wise for the both of you guys?
We continue to work at it, and every week's a different challenge, and every week's a different game plan, where you got to study it, and you got to know exactly kind of what we're after and all that. But he's doing a better job with it, and it's still it's the evolution of what we're doing, and the natural progression of it. He's got to make mistakes, and he does. But truly understanding what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go with it is what's most important.
Jeff was forced to juggle some linebackers because of injury. What snapshot thought of what happened with that group? I mean, happy with how they performed? What do you think of the new grouping?
Yeah, I mean, we clearly played pretty good. I mean, other than the first 2 drives, they didn't score much. I think they had 200 yards of total offense. So I thought Snell practiced well all week. And kind of waiting his turn. He's a young kid that has ability. He's done a good job of getting himself in shape and looked pretty good. We'd have to study it, and you have to ask Jeff. I didn't look at it as closely as he did at this point.
Can you remember a true freshman running back in your offense ever having a game like Garrison had today?
Not quite 293 yards. The last 3 years have had 3. This is the 4th year in a row that we've had a true freshman running back that's been one of the main guys. So 2 years at Houston, we had the freshman of the year in the conference that was running back, and then last year at Oklahoma State, Joseph Randall's a fantastic player that is their starter now. So, Dustin's the 4th and 4 straight years that are true freshmen that are capable of being the future back. That position you usually can handle it. The running backs are usually the spot where you can put people in at a pretty young age, unlike O-line and stuff like that.
Danny, you talked about fans' expectations, maybe wanted to be mid-season form, first game. You finished the non-conference schedule. Are you happy with where your team is right now? Are they about where you thought they'd be?
What I'm really happy with is we just got. They did what we asked them to do. We told them all week to you know, to become a smarter football team. We had 1 penalty and 0 turnovers, you know, so we're happy with where we are at that point. You know, it's every week's a new challenge, you know, and you gotta have the ability to get up for whatever game you're playing, you know, and that's just the routine, and we'll stick with it.
All right, thanks, Coach.